So I've played Cyberpunk for more than like 65 hours, so I think I have a pretty solid opinion on it, and I feel like I have a pretty good right to make this video because I've been wanting to for a while, but I wanted to get a few hours in before I did. So before you think this is a solid review, this is not going to be a full-fledged review. If you want to watch that, go to IGN or GameSpot or something like that, because this is not what that is. This is just me rambling, and these are my thoughts on it, so, you know. And if you can't handle criticism of the game, I suggest you click off as well, because I got a lot of hate on one of my videos because I said a few bad things about the game. But now I can actually say it from a personal standpoint. So let me get this out here. I love the game, all right? I have 65 hours in it. If I didn't like the game, I wouldn't have 65 hours in it, right? But everything has its problems, and this game has a lot of them. So I remember when this game came out, everybody was saying the day one patch like it was some sort of Jesus or Messiah or something like that. You know, it's gonna fix all problems, right? And yes, the day one patch did fix some problems, but there's still many to be fixed and that have not been touched. For example, just a couple examples. Riding your bike in the wasteland is so impossible to do. You just go up to the stratosphere, I swear. So I wouldn't even try it. Just don't try to motorcycle. Don't try to ride a motorcycle in the wasteland. But about the entire game itself, I feel like Night City is overwhelming and underwhelming at the same time. For example, I'm gonna draw GTA 5 as this comparison, right? GTA 5 Los Santos and Night City. They're more similar than you would think. All right, they're both pretty big cities, you know, a lot of stuff to do, but I feel like GTA's Los Santos is more engaging. You know what I mean? Yes, it may not be as big, or there may not be as much going on, right? But there's much more to do as the player. No, Cyberpunk's thing is like, hey, this world can function without you. You don't need, you know, this world doesn't care if you're here. And that's completely true. The world doesn't care if you're there. It seems like it functions completely without the player. And that is absolutely perfect. I love that. But it just seems like as the player, there's not much to do other than missions. You know what I mean? With GTA, even GTA Online, you can get your hair cut, you can go to bars, you can like you can just go to random spots. You know, there's just so much you can do with it, right? There's like cool little Easter eggs around the map, and I don't know. It's just with Cyberpunk, it doesn't seem like there's not much to do outside the missions. And especially with the RPG element of Cyberpunk, there's not much of that either, right? There is no customizing your character outside of initial creation, and that's, you know, if you want a good looking character, then you're gonna have to spend some hours, or maybe an hour, or maybe 30 minutes, because the character creation itself is so restrictive, right? I remember being promised that this is one of the most engaging custom character creations out there, which it is not at all. So it's very restrictive. The RPG elements are very lacking. The only decent thing I'd say about this that has an RPG aspect is the skill trees, and they are nice, but you know, there's too much. It's overwhelming. They don't help you out through all of it. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what good builds are. It's just kind of confusing. I usually like to play stealth builds in games, right? And I'm playing a stealth build in this game, right? And I find myself quick saving more than I do playing. That's how bad the stealth is, because, you know, it's always chance. And I like that and hate it at the same time. You know what I mean? In real life, there's always going to be chance. You know what I mean? You know, you sneak up to a guy, he may or may not punch the lights out of you, right? But with this, it's either there's a 50-50 chance of you get like, say you have mantis blades, which are these like blades that come in your arm, right? And you're sneaking up behind people and you do a heavy attack. And I have my 30% upgrade, may I remind you, right? So it's pretty strong, right? It's either you may get an initial, like a one-hit kill, or not. And that's why you need a quick save between every single kill. They need to fix that. Not to mention the driving bugs. When I was driving around Night City, I found a lot of times of me feeling alone. This is, by the way, this is me on PC. Just saying, that's my review. I'm obviously on PC, but I honestly feel alone a lot. You know, you don't see many cars outside of you on the PC. Well, just on Night City. You don't see many of them, right? It's not very. It's just you don't see many. You feel very alone a lot of the time. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of people, and that's something I kind of don't like. I found myself being alone in this huge city more often than I appreciate. And do not even get me started on how much a lie the recommended specs are. Oh my god. Okay, so basically, I have a 1650 Super, right? It is a $200 graphics card. It's not the best. It's entry mid-level, all right? It's not the best graphics card. I'm more than willing to admit that, right? But the recommended graphics card is a 1060, a GTX 1060. That's an okay entry level card, right? That's an okay card. You know, a lot of people have cards that are better than that, right? My card is better than that. My card is better than the GTX 1060, right? But my card is struggling with this game, and oh my god, I have to compensate. Like I get 30 frames, if that. Dips into 8 frames with my graphics card. This game is so poorly optimized. It's not even funny. It is not even funny. Man, if you have anything under than a 2060, I would not say you're going to have a decent frame rate for this game. You have to have a 2060 or higher. That is basically have. And, oh, boy, man. Jeez, dude. I don't know. What I suggest this game, I know I've been talking a lot of bad about it, but there's some good things, too. I know I've been focused on the bad. This is time to go to the good. The game's story is very engaging. You know, it's really interesting, but the characters sometimes feel hollow. But I can see myself getting attached to the characters, certain losses, stuff like that. It makes you feel sad, and there's side missions to go off of what happens. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes you feel that much more close and envious of the time you had with that character, but the character kind of feels hollow, and that's kind of dulls the pain of their loss. And it feels like this game's story would be better as a movie, but it is great as a video game. You know, you're actually doing stuff, you know what I mean? But it feels like there's, you know, this whole story going on. There's people in this world, you know what I mean? This world lives, it feels alive. And that is just perfect. The game it's a good game. It's a good game, I have to admit. And I feel like this. All right, this is just gonna be my last sentence because I'm running on 8 minutes. I am on 8 minutes actually. I feel like this game's launch didn't do it justice. Right? Not at all. But like, did this flop nearly as hard as No Man's Sky? Hell no. Oh my god, it didn't. But I feel like, you know, just like No Man's Sky, it got redeemed. No Man's Sky is better than what they promised. You know what I mean? Thanks to all the updates. I feel like Cyberpunk can do the same thing if they really try. And knowing CD Projekt Red, they probably are. So I'd say give this game a solid 3 months. Maybe a year. 3 months to a year. I know that's a lot of waiting, but at least you can play it right now, right? So waiting's not going to be as bad. But this game can be good. Just needs to fix out the bugs, make it, you know, make character creation a little bit more in depth. Add a haircut parlor at least, maybe something like that. And then I feel like you might have a little bit more of a solid game. But yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry if you guys did not agree with this review. This is my personal opinion. I love the game. Do I suggest it? Yes, I do. I would really go buy it. It's a fun game. There are problems, but they are not game-breaking, and they are fun. So I'd really suggest you playing it. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to see more of these videos, I have a couple videos planned. I know my schedule has been weird. I technically don't really have one, but if you guys want me to, just let me know, and I'll see you next video, and bye.